Good Friday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about all my cars and trucks and SUVs and the motorcycles, the Kiefer dog, the kid, the pool, the camper. Yeah, I'm still living in the camper. Kid moved out, so I'm the lone stranger, the lone man living in a camper, which I love it. I love my camper. One of my subscribers called me out and said, I don't think you'll last in that camper very long. Wonder if that person will raise their hand and say out on my channel, who was that? Who was the person that said, I won't last in the camper, right? So anyways, hey, it's a beautiful Friday morning here in the Northern Virginia, Maryland, D.C. area, and it's overcast. Humidity is down significantly. Supposed to have some rains, so it's just a nice day. It isn't just all sunny per se, but it's a nice day to be here in the, guys, what's getting close to be the middle of July. Hard to believe. 12th of July, is that the correct date today? Here we go. So my theory of a kitty cat, a stray kitty cat being on my property, I think it's starting to play out. Look, the garbage can, we have some evidence. Watch out. So we got evidence here that somebody's roughing it in my barn. Wow, how about that? And that doesn't usually happen, believe it or not. My garbage doesn't get affected. So here we are in the garage with the carpenter bees diligently at work, trashing my nice Corvette. And wow, what a week. Hard to believe it's already Friday. I mean, for me, it's really hard to believe that it's already Friday. And trying to look up here, Carl reached out to me wanting a sticker. So, hey, Carl, thanks so much for sending me an email. And, yeah, Carl reached out to me. He would like to put a sticker on his vehicle and share my channel. As he says, fly the flag, which is pretty cool. So thank you very much, Carl, for being a subscriber and supporting my channel and wanting to share the information to others. So that's very nice of him. And it's always great to hear people email me and comment, and that really does make a lot. Hey, puppies, where are you? Ginger, Scotty, where are you, babies? Come on, Scout. Ginger, baby. I don't know where Ginger is. We'll just kind of have to let her go. I'll just have to deal with that, I guess, later on. Not a big deal. So anyway, so here we are. Another week has passed us, and as always, it's always trying to come up with a theme, the word of the day, and how it relates to our life in cars and vehicles and trucks. And so if we do the week in review, Monday was the heat conversations. Tuesday was the mirror conversations. Wednesday was the supercharger conversations. Thursday was the temperature conversations. And kind of wish I could have gotten into that a little further, because the temperature, as I was saying yesterday, the temperature conversation, boy, oh boy, if that isn't the number one thing, the number one word that is driving the whole country's agendas, the transformation, the revolution, whatever you want to call, the misguidance, the misinformation. It's big. Come here, Ginger baby. Ginger, no. So there we go. So she's eating something off the ground. Come on, baby. Nope, Kiefer, you're not going to do that. I just don't want you to do that. Leave her alone. No, let her alone. Come on, Ginger. Come on, baby. Come on. Leave her alone. No, you're not going to do that. So once again, I could have, my new employee, Brian, who came along, and yesterday we had a busy day digging ditches, and but it was a great day to do it because it wasn't extremely hot. So I was very fortunate. Here, Kiwi. So I was very fortunate to do the concrete job yesterday and trenching. A lot of work, man. And thank goodness I had Brian and my daughter, Julia, to help out, because I did that stuff by myself so many years ago, and not anymore. I just don't have that capability. So like I said, I wish I could have spent a little more time on the temperature. But so let's move on to Friday to wrap up the week of the morning conversations. And I thought to myself, we have not had the meeting conversations. And I thought, boy, ain't that the truth? Hey, drove the electric truck yesterday. This truck really is nice. It hauls ass. It is so fast. Gets you in trouble. This truck just does 80, 90 like nothing. I mean, and it's just rocket ships. And the traffic around here is so bad. It is so bad. It just drives you nuts. I mean, I've been living on the road since 1985. I'm just going to tell you what. I am so sick of this area's traffic. So I've been driving the same roads since 1985. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's why I got Brian coming on board, because he's going to start doing a lot of things that I do. He can kind of give me a timeout of just living on the road every day of my life. That's one goal. It won't happen overnight. Take some time to train him in my business, and does he make it? Does he actually stick around? You know, it's a very labor intensive business that I'm in. So anyway, so the meeting conversations, I thought, boy, oh boy, who can't relate with the meeting conversations, especially if you work in a big company, an office. I used to, I worked in always small business, but I've worked for other companies throughout my life. And it was always the worst. Hey, we're going to have a meeting. You'd be told, or especially like I worked in the oil industry. We used to have a Monday morning, 9 o'clock meeting every week, for the most part, where the owner got to ride your ass about how much money did you make me? How much money did you make me? What are you doing for me? What are you doing for me? What's wrong with you? You need to do this. You need to do that. And then the guy goes and disappears and goes out in his boat and goes out cheating on his wife with his girlfriend and screws around all week. And then the next Monday he shows back up when you don't even see him most of the week. What have you done for me lately? Do you guys have any of these stories? It just pisses the crap out of you when you work for a major company and you're busting your ass to do things, and yet the people higher up, they screw off half the time. They're not even around half the time. Oh, they have a lunch meeting. Who doesn't know this crap? Who didn't dread the lunch meeting? Let's go out to eat. And everybody stuffed their face. It's the number one trick in negotiating business. If you're a salesperson, if you're wanting to persuade people to do things, you take everybody out to lunch, and you schedule about a 12:30, 1 o'clock lunch. And by the time you're done eating, it's about 2 o'clock. The biological clock in most people by mid-afternoon is lazy as hell. You stuff them with carbohydrates to the max, and then you start negotiating these deals, and they're so full, and they're so lethargic. Oh, all right, yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. We'll do that. Sure, sounds great. Yeah. So, that's the number one thing that people do. It's whether you realize it or not, that goes on a lot. Especially as a salesperson, if you know how to swindle things, if you get that meeting. So the meeting, what's the meeting that's going on right now in Washington, D.C.? It's the NATO meeting. Where was it? The 32 North Atlantic Treaty Organizations, countries come to meet, and it's like the 33rd visit to Washington, D.C. over the last 75 plus years of NATO being created after World War II. And I'm sure a lot of people will agree that the NATO thing, like Donald Trump feels, is a waste of time. It's a waste of money. And he doesn't like the NATO ball game. And that's what's really interesting. For anybody out there that's more of the world economic, world community knowledge of NATO, this is what I wonder. Because, Sweden just was allowed to come into NATO. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't know, I'm just taking assumptions, that the NATO alliance is all about protection, the well-being of us with others in other countries, meaning that if somebody starts bombing England or, bombing another country that's in NATO, it's our responsibility to help protect them and in some ways be at war with whatever country is going after them. And so the big talk under Joe Biden is the constant, we should bring Ukraine into NATO. Now, just the record, China and Russia are not part of NATO as far as I know. I don't think they're not part of that, and they don't like NATO. But the point is, you have to say to yourself, why is Joe Biden's administration so adamantly, in some ways, and don't get me wrong, they're not, it's a mixed signal. So in some ways, you hear they think that Ukraine should come into NATO, but at the same time, there's like a little game going on of them letting them come in. And what I think to myself is, let's just say that Ukraine is eventually brought into NATO. Okay, so does that mean then the lights turn on for our country that we now have to be directly involved with the Russia war? My assumptions would be yes. And in so many ways, China as well. China's supplementing Russia in this war, as is the United States is supplementing Ukraine in this war. And I know it's not only car talk at this moment, but it's just because Joe Biden did a big speech presentation of being jacked up on drugs and trying to explain to people about how he's not an old man. He's still youthful, and he's going to just keep on chugging. And even though he addresses people by the wrong name and makes statements that make no sense, But he's going to be okay, everybody. This guy here, he's going to be great for another 4 years. Yeah, just in the last 4 years, who hasn't seen this guy deteriorate to beyond embarrassment of our country? But hey, go vote for Joe Biden. Don't worry. It's going to be all beautiful. But Barack Obama definitely wants you to vote for Joe Biden. And if you get that message, you get that message. So, and the list of other people, too, that just have an earpiece in this guy's ear and tells him what to say. That's all that's going on. For the record, if you can't get that, and he can't even decipher what they're telling him in his ear. So it's pretty bad when it gets to that point. So anyways, the NATO thing. So if Ukraine came in, you think about this. We're at war. We're at direct war. I mean, we already are at war because Zelensky came to the NATO meeting, even though he's not actually an official NATO member, but he showed up because he's there begging for more money and begging for more military ammunition. And apparently the French are going to give him some F-16s, and some other countries are going to give him more ammunition. And he and the back behind the scenes, Michael Johnson, the Speaker of the House, that Michael Gates put into power, that's going to be so-called so much better than Kevin McCarthy, and it's going to be a hardball, hardliner guy. Yeah, how's that all playing out? Yeah, it sure is. Yeah, you look at Michael. I saw Michael Johnson's stature and his look in his face. Oh yeah, this is a piranha guy. Yeah, he's going to be radical. Sure, yeah, how long will that last, right? So already Zelensky and Johnson are already behind the scenes discussing more billions of dollars being handed out to Ukraine and the taxpayers' dollar to continue to fight the never-ending war of Russia that wants back its land that was taken away from it and blah, blah, blah. I mean, oh my gosh, man, it just doesn't end. Because you know why? It's all about meetings. What does anybody, I'm sure so many people that have worked for bigger companies, government, whatever it may be, what's the number one thing that people do? Hey, let's have a meeting. 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 And oh my gosh, you sit there and then it just turns into the round table, blah, 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 blah. And you're sitting there as you want to complete projects or tasks, and you're suckered into this. Even back during the COVID, the remote working, you're on Skype, there was so many, I'm sure other people can tell me, I wasn't involved in that because I don't have that type of business, and I don't have that type of relationship with other people. I have to be doing video conference calls, and who doesn't know these stories? It's, remote work, and then you're sitting there and listening to everybody, present their views and ideas and thoughts, and round and round and round it goes. As you're just sitting there, just like, I want to be doing something else in my life besides sitting here, listening to somebody else tell me how they think we should run this or run that makes no sense. And I saw a customer the other day of mine, and I was talking to him, and I was saying, isn't it incredible how a person can come into a company that just destroys it? Have you ever noticed that? Does anybody know that story that you've been at a company for quite a while and management gets shaken up and a new guy shows up and he just destroys the company? And then the reality is, at the end of the day, that guy eventually or gal is run out of the company because, okay, hey, wait a second. Does this sound like kind of like where we are right now in this country? I mean, think it through. Can you all relate with this right now? I mean, sincerely, if you've been around long enough and been in business long enough and been exposed to enough stuff, you understand this. It could be your own neighborhood. It could be your church. It could be your youth sports. It could be your car dealership. It could be a service manager, service director. It's infinite on how a new personality shows up and they just destroy everything that was so cool. And yet now it's all been ruined by this person that likes to call a lot of meetings. Yeah, so what's the meetings of the mind? Well, we know. I've talked about it every day of my life on my YouTube channel. The meetings of the mind under the city administration is all about the green agenda. It's all about advancing more than ever the green agenda to make Mother Nature better, Mother Nature Earth better, at the expense of you and I. And sacrificing things that you and I love, because these people get in a meeting and they all sit around the table and they all start getting these charts out. They get the temperature charts out. They get the life expectancy charts out. They get the weight of people. They get the temperature charts out. They get the world population charts out. And they all start looking and evaluating, analyzing, and they look at the carbon footprint, and they look at the ozone layer, and they start, oh, okay, this is how this is going to work out. This is what we do. Does anybody realize that's what goes on? It really does go on. But here's a really interesting article I read this morning. is you're not going to live that long. Believe it or not, mankind has plateaued in the average life expectancy of mankind. Isn't that something? You would think with all these meetings over all the years of all these scientists and all these gurus and all the know-it-alls would be able to help us extend us live longer. No, this is real stuff. I'm not making this up. It's factual. Mankind has plateaued. We plateaued really back in the late 50s and 60s. So the average life expectancy of a human is 65 years old to 90 years old. Now get this. They have longevity meetings. Yes, if you're interested in this, you can participate in longevity meetings. Longevity meetings will bring the scientists in and the doctors and the so-called experts and gurus that are going to tell you if you take all these pills and vitamins and these drinks and supplements and your eating habits, your thought habits, the way you look, the way you act, you're going to live longer. And also, they're diligently working on re-engineering your cells of your body to become more youthful. So that's the predictions of the longevity meetings. It's a fact. Look it up, longevity meetings. You're going to get involved with all the participants, kind of like Tom, what is it? I'm trying to think of Tom, the big superstar guy. I can't even think of his damn, Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise, he was into that Scientology, or whatever, non-believer of religion. He's in all to the space, what lives out in the space and all our stuff. I'm sure people know that conversation there that have been around a while. But the point is, the longevity meetings are telling you that science is right around the corner from re-engineering your cells of your body to become youthful again. And if you can create the reverse aging process of your cells in your body, then you're going to become youthful again. So now if you're buying into that gig, I guess as some of my subscribers, like the help desk, will reach out and say, just keep on drinking more Kool-Aid. Everything's beautiful. I like when he responds. I love how a lot of my subscribers out there, bring in comments on my channel, and they're funny. I mean, they're classic. They come up with these little sayings, little statements, and I just love it. I love to read this stuff, to hear other people say, yeah, man, I get it. Most people don't, but I get it. Yeah, just keep on drinking the Kool-Aid. So anyways, back to the meetings of the cars, the EV vehicles. What's the number one thing that we're hearing more than ever is the meeting of the green agenda that the electric car is going to save the world. And then Elon Musk, he has lots of meetings. Can you even imagine how many meetings Elon Musk has? Think about it. Let's just step back. And I like using Elon Musk because Elon Musk is at the forefront of our country and the world in so many ways of being the agitator in many ways, good and bad. And so for Elon Musk, he owns Tesla. So you know as well as I do, he has Tesla meetings. Elon Musk owns Neuralink, the little chip in your brain. He wants you to put that chip in your brain, which sounds like pretty cool stuff's happening. So I'm not here to be critical of that, but he's got a meeting with Neuralink. All right. Then he's got the space the satellite company called Starlink. So then he's got a meeting with Starlink. And then he's got the SpaceX program where he has a meeting with SpaceX. Then he has the Twitter now is X, formerly Twitter. He has that meeting. I'm probably missing something else out there. So for Elon Musk, I'm just stumped so many times when I see this guy does do a lot of posting on X. He's very active on X and he's very vocal on X. And I just sometimes like, wow, how many hours a day does this guy sleep? The guy has 11 children. He's had like 4 different women in his life. And I just go, so how does this guy actually operate? How does this guy, and I get it, he's a very dynamic individual, but at the same time, this guy, he should have 24-hour-a-day meetings. And if you're a person that's in a relationship, your small business, whatever it may be, you're a car salesman, you're always going to have a meeting, and you're going to have a meeting in the minds. Or if you're an actual salesperson selling a car, and a person makes an appointment for a meeting with you to come and look at a car. So that it just takes 2 people to make a meeting. And so as well as I do, what is the number one goal of a car salesperson? Is meeting people. It's coordinating, meeting people to come to their dealership and to buy a car. What's the number one goal of business? It's meeting more customers to bring more monies to their company. What's my goal on my YouTube channel? It's meeting more subscribers to help my channel grow, to share my enthusiasm of the Ice Age vehicles and the craziness and my views and ideas that I hope so many others can truly relate with and share the same ideas. And so you don't feel like you're the only one out there that is as crazy as the Ice guy, right? Here's the Harley Davidson Street Glide ST with the little vent visors on the side that I put. I did a little how-to video on this other day. Very simple. It's just like 20 bucks. Really good stuff. 20 bucks versus $120 on a Harley dealership. Same thing I was telling you about the rear saddlebag bars. 170 bucks, I think, was the price. Was that? Or I think it was. Maybe it's 300. I don't know, but I got mine for 70 bucks. And they do the same thing, I think. Here's the Gold Wing. Here's the Afro Twin. Here's the Fireblade. Here's the CBR. You know what's incredible? You don't see my other toys. And you know what we'll do, just to kind of break it up this morning, is to, you don't see my other motorcycles. I don't have enough room. So, I think Brian, my new guy, he likes to kind of get here at a respectable time. And does he today? So let's go over here, because here's the collection of other motorcycles you don't see. And yeah, is it, part of me says what I should do. I should take one of my Indians and buy the new Indian Scout 101. That looks like a really cool motorcycle. I like the look of it. I think the Scout is a really cool vehicle. This guy wants to get in here. So here. So see, here's what you don't even see. Do I have the power on it? I do. So look here. Here's motorcycles you guys don't even see, which we never even ride. The FTR, I rode that thing home. We rode around the block. My daughter hates it. And I've never ridden this thing since. I'll be amazed. I don't know if I don't have a battery tender on this thing. This thing will probably not even start. Watch. I've had a lot of problems with this bike because I don't ride it enough. But let's just see for the hell of it. Yep, see there? Dead. Yep, dead. Yep. Now here's the Honda. Look at the Honda. So the Honda over here. But did I plug this in? I don't think I did. Oh, it's unplugged. Why is that? Why is this unplugged? Who knows? It doesn't have... Oh, this should be way up here. I'm going to plug this in. So I'm going to throw that over there. See what I can do. But look at the Honda. Honda's not even plugged in. And I've had this Honda longer than that bike. Let's see. See what happens. Is it neutral? Probably not. No, it's not. It's always the case, right? Nope. There's neutral. So this happens. So let it prime. Look at that. Bing bam. Honda. Honda started right up. That's something. Now that's just the way it is, right? But no, these stories. That's a CB 650R. You can't get that bike. You cannot buy that bike. So here's the Indian. I guess Kiefer probably unplugged this thing unbeknownst to me. That's probably what happened. You see there now, I got her charging. Now over here is the bobber. Does the bobber start? And I put a brand new battery in this thing last year. Now here we go. It starts right up. Now, does the Harley start? But I got these things on. Oh, I just unplugged it. That's so funny. I just unplugged this. Let me plug it back in. Sorry. Let's see, does this start up? Yeah, well, yeah, look at that. Is it neutral? And it looks like it is. No, it's not. We got to get this thing in neutral. Look at that. Let's start it up. This bike here, you can't call it out because the battery tender got taken to the rig. Yeah, look at that, right? So, put that Indian there, right? I'm going to turn them all off. Because there's a lot of noise right here. So, alright, so here's the Honda CB650. Now, I really hate to get rid of this bike because you can't get this bike anymore. This is an extremely rare motorcycle. And yeah, if somebody gave me really stupid money, like 20 grand for it, I'd probably let it go. But that bike is no longer sold stateside. You only get it in Europe. I think that's such a cool color. Yeah, just me. Yeah, am I crazy? I am. The FTR, definitely need to ride that around. I definitely need to ride some of these bikes around. But what I was saying earlier is I should take like the Bobber, or I should take like the FTR. Even though I like the FTR look, it's cool, but yeah, whatever. And get the new Indian Scout. How about that idea? That's tempting, right? I found one local too, so that's dangerous. Does that play out? Can I go a month without buying anything? Yeah. Can I go a month without meeting yet another salesperson, or have another meeting of buying a bike? So Brian just showed up here. As we get into our video here, as we walk around the dark side, the back side of the property, which you don't really see this most part. Look how dry the grass is, which I haven't had to have the meeting with my lawnmower. It's so incredible. This really is the first summer in ages. What's not comforting? Get this. My good friend Bob, he's moving away. So that's one reason I'm bringing on Brian, is because Bob's been a key guy to me throughout my career of helping me run my company. And he's moving to Hamptons, Virginia. He's the gentleman I gave the trailer and the barbecue to that was cancer. He had throat cancer a year ago, stage 4, and he survived it. He beat it. So, unfortunately, sadly, he's moving on, and he's not going to really be local per se anymore. And but the point is, back in 2008, 2008, when I owned a lawn and garden equipment dealership, it was the driest summer on record. It was the driest as far as temperature, keeping temperatures and everything else. So in 2008, this is similar. This is what to me is like, oh no, man, how do I hear this? 2008, believe it or not, that was the beginning of the reckoning of our country. So for those younger people, they won't relate with it. But right now, this truly has been one of my driest summers living here in quite a while. Usually we're cutting grass just about every week. And we are going to have to cut the grass because it is kind of getting a little shaggy looking. But the point is that my good friend Bob, he called me the other day and he goes, "Hey, Iceman." He goes, "Hey, you realize this is starting to remind me of 2008? And I'm thinking, what is that? What do you mean by that? And he goes, well, the weather, it's so hot and it's so dry. I'm like, oh, okay, I get all that. And so here's my dump trailer, slowly building up all the debris to take this thing to the dump. As my pool, thanks to Mr. Don. Hey, Don, hope you're doing good. You too, Jenny. Was a really smart guy to figure that out. Thank you very much. As this thing's slowly coming apart. Yeah, I should probably just put another glue this thing right here. Love the pool. I was in the pool last night till 9 o'clock. When I get home late in the afternoon, I'll jump in this thing about 5 o'clock, and I'll just stay in it till like 9 o'clock. I stayed in that thing the other night close to 10 o'clock. I just love it. I just love that pool. And it's warm enough and hot enough, but the days get cooler, that all changes. That's not a heated pool. Hey, Charles, hope you're okay. Haven't heard Charles lately, the Hood, out there in Oregon. Hope you're all right. I don't know, he's at their schedules. And sometimes people just disappear. And I'm sure it's because they have more things to do than watch my YouTube channel every day of their life. I get all that. They don't have time for the meeting of the Ice Age TV YouTube content because they got other meetings to deal with, especially if you're on vacation, your family. It all changes. You all understand that, don't you? Yeah, they're getting Brian going in my business. He's kind of green, and that's all right. But I'm going to have him on the weed whacking projects. I'm going to put him on other projects. We'll test his will of how much he wants to work for the Iceman. Claims he loves it, but it's early in the ball game. Everyone understands that. So crazy. This magnolia tree right here has never grown as much as my other one. Now, my good friend Joe, he claims I planted the tree too deep. I've planted a lot of trees, and all my trees usually, for the most part, have survived, with the exception of the weather. But if you see that magnolia tree right there, and then we walk up here, as I see the gang hanging out here outside the shop, the kid's having her breakfast, Brian's there dressed for the day, and I'll be wrapping up here in a minute, okay? Sure. And anyways, I want to show everybody this magnolia tree that's up front here, and it's like quadruple the size. So for any of the so-called Virginia horticulture experts, it's my daughter. That's what she says to people. She took horticulture class in her last year of high school. And if you look at this size tree, I planted these things the exact same day. What do you think it is? This is a whole different area where this doesn't really hold water. So this doesn't get, it's like the water, this is like a drier area per se. This gets a lot of water down the property. But I just have a hard time believing, you know, once again, look at the size of that tree. That's going to be a beautiful magnolia tree. And wow, and I planted all those trees. I planted all these trees, man. Just the never-ending projects and work. All right, I got the kid and Brian, and we have to have a meeting to figure out what we're doing today. And it's Friday, and here where I live on a Friday, it's the worst. The traffic is like the worst. I mean, everybody and brothers heading out of town. Everybody wants to leave work early, and everybody shows up to work, get their paycheck. Who doesn't know these stories? Even though more than ever, maybe transfer electronically. Here's the meeting of the electric truck with the electric charging station. So yeah, I got a lot of meetings. So picture if I brought in those 4 other motorcycles. So in my shop, you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? 10, 11, 12. We'd have 16. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, I didn't count the monkey, did I? I got to do this again. I think it's 12. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 4 in the trailer. 16. My brother has my CB1000R down there in Florida. He's robbed. 17 bikes, man. Good Lord, am I freaking nuts? But for the record, one's a dirt bike, so it isn't a road bike. And technically, this isn't a road bike. It is, but it isn't. So you really say 15 road bikes. Yeah, one I don't have time to ride those, right? Yeah, I hear you. Need to take the Challenger out. Hey, what's the status of the Ford Mustang supercharger meeting at Kuhn Silver Spring Ford? Nothing. I won't hear anything until next week. So that'll be next week's adventures and projects. So that's it. Oh, here's the Ice Age TV stickers. Anybody else like Carl wants one, just email me at iceagetvcomments@gmail.com, and I've got plenty of stickers. You know, I've got plenty of stickers. I'll give them out. Like I said, I'm still just pondering what I create for an Ice Age item that I think people would be intrigued to have that I can maybe sell on my my YouTube channel. I don't know yet. Still thinking about it. That's it. So once again, everybody, thanks so much for being a YouTube Ice Age TV subscriber, or those who are just watching me. Hit the subscribe. I really don't reach out on my channel and beg people to subscribe to my channel. I just think either you like it or you don't. And if you like it, subscribe. If you're not too excited, then whatever. I'm not a beggar. That's not who I am. Some ways I am, but for the most part, I always have felt like, hey, if you like my content, you're just going to subscribe. I don't think I have to tell you to do that, but maybe I need to start saying that more often. So once again, everybody, thanks for watching my channel. Thanks for being really kind, great participants. It helps me keep the channel going. It really does. And I hope everybody has a blessed day and stay safe.